Chapter 11, Video 4, The Paradox Overdrive, driven to the absolute brink by overlapping time.
The synchronization loop was pushed past all safety protocols. They hardwired the overcharged matrix directly into the subatomic bedrock.
The final command executed. A supreme electrical current wave released across the sector. But the Empire of Soot refused to stay contained.
Barrier breached. A devastating chemical blitz hitting the heart of the overdrive, fracturing the invulnerable core fields in a single second of absolute warfare. Core is destabilizing. The chemical fallout has penetrated our primary containment fields, requesting immediate ground shock injection. Total collision on the catwalks. The electric resistance forces can get low of dust, fighting to hold the line against the Iron Hunters. Chemistry does not negotiate. The Overlord's machines dissolve their advanced alloys like ice in an apocalyptic, toxic winter. Kinetic impact. The sky answered with the wrath of a split atom, crushing the industrial stronghold into a flat mirror of glass.
My fortress is broken. The orbital grid is active. Release the final subterranean reserves. If they...
Main core is poisoned. A toxic alternative history legacy raised to choke the new world before the Matrix can ever expand.
The victory was an illusion.
They built their empire on displacement and pollution, carving up a new world. But they forgot that the communication nodes were vital, keeping the localized Martian colonies synchronized with the central mainframe ships. Backup networks were activated across all quadrants, forcing the Matrix to maintain pressure despite external threat. The survival of the Vanguard relied entirely on these hidden sanctuary of ice.
Silo breach in Sector 4. The enemy is targeting our primary water reserves from the upper atmosphere.
Lock the seal. Overload the secondary magnetic valves before the primary circuit blows.
When dawn broke across the red frontier, the lines of science remained unbroken, holding the space vacuum at bay.
Move through the blind zones. The quantum sensors cannot track our armor through the heavy sand fallout.
Load the secondary combustion payload. Target the primary dome support arches.
The mechanical squadrons deployed. Iron monsters fueled by chemical fury, charging directly into the western perimeter.
Total impact. The defense forces answered with absolute force, detonating the Iron Vanguard in a single second.
The weapon is obsolete. The chemical dust is dissolving the internal quantum fuel rods. Fall back to the trench. The outer lines collapsed. The Iron Hunters reclaimed the canyon floor, forcing a total blackout across the sector.
The signal is blinded. The chemical cloud has blocked our connection to the mainframe ship. We are entirely isolated.
Quantum discharge. The West answered with absolute fire, vaporizing the landing Vanguard in a single blinding instant.
They think their orbital grid makes them kings of space. But the Earth still belongs to the elements. Release the secondary reserves. If they want total war, then we will poison the sky until their new sun goes dark forever.
The sky was poisoned. The chemical armada launched its final deterrent, preparing to choke the quantum eyes of the West.
When the sun broke through the fallout, nothing remained but a landscape of displacement glass and chemical.
The quantum frontier ended not in victory, but in a divided world. A cold peace maintained by the fear of absolute global extinction.
They built their peace on atoms and chemicals.
But the quantum frontier concludes, and the final resurgence begins. Choose your side in the comments below. Subscribe.
The interception was live. The Eastern remnants deployed their fastest tactical aircraft to breach the Western airspace grid.
Flood the secondary combustion pipes.
Push the speed past the absolute line of structural tolerance.
Barrier breached. The chemical vanguard pierced the invulnerable Western shield with raw, mechanical force.
A catastrophic strike. The Western surveillance node was erased in a single blinding instant of toxic combustion.
When the smoke cleared, the frontier was compromised. The lines of current had snapped, leaving the Western capital exposed to the incoming shadow. Orbital telemetry stabilized. The Space Vanguard secured the planetary perimeter, prepared to deploy the next matrix node. A multidimensional core framework operating independent of external mass, creating an invulnerable energy shield across the installation.
Subterranean contact. The enemy has bypassed our geological scanners, breaching the perimeter defense lines from below. Engage the primary kinetic anchors. Drive the vanguards directly into their central communications grid.
The shadow of the old world occupied the cosmos, a monumental testament to mankind's refusal to perish in the ash.
Production lines were overcharged, mass-producing the specialized combustion munitions required to neutralize the Western code fields. The refinery tower is compromised. Toxic fluid has breached the clean water line. Containment is failing. The overdrive authorization stabilized, mapping the entire energy grid to prevent a total reactor collapse across the sector.
Secure the secondary power lines. Do not let the chemical suit ground the central current matrix before the overdrive stabilizes.
Direct discharge in Quadrant 13. The invading armor division is completely melting under the absolute weight of the overdrive shockwave. Paradox Overdrive protocol complete. Main current tracks are locked and stable. Total sector secured under Alliance jurisdiction. When the sun broke through the radioactive haze, the stronghold of the New World Order stood secure. The bedrock was scarred, but the overdrive was unbroken.